Good. So it's nice to have you guys here today. Super nice to have all of you here today. And basically, let's get started. It's 10 o'clock, I mean 7 p.m., right? Let's get started. So guys, you are welcome. You are welcome to today's webinar. Now, for the sake and purpose of this webinar, for us to move through it smoothly, I have muted everyone and you will not be able to unmute yourself until the end of this webinar if I decide to unmute you. And if you have any questions, that's fine. I'll take your questions at the end of this presentation. Okay, so you're welcome to today's webinar. Today, we're going to be talking about how to get paid thousands of dollars every month working for foreign clients as a freelancer in Nigeria. And this is I'm going to show you how you can do this, even if you don't have a skill or you've not been paid in dollars before yet, right? I'm going to show you how you can actually go through that. And the goal of this webinar is to help you understand what freelancing is and for you to see the numerous possibilities of working with foreign clients and how it can upgrade your finances, right? So I want you to think about any amount of money you plan on making in this life, right? Everyone has like a different amount of money they want to make, especially when you're getting into the online space to make money. For some people, they want to make 1 million a month. Some people, they just want to make like 300K a month. Some people want to make 100K a month, an extra 100 or 200K a month. Some people want to make maybe way more than that, maybe way more than 1 million a month, right? Everyone has their own target. It's individual to each person and everyone has what they have in mind for that, right? Now, whatever amount of money it is, I want you to understand that that money exists out there. Now, the only thing stopping you from holding that money in your hand, for it being in your bank account and the rest of that, it's basically what you have to offer to the world for them to pay you in return for that. And there are so many ways for you to make money online, but today in particular, I'm going to be showing you how you can do that via freelancing, okay? So if you stick with me until the end of this webinar, we're going to achieve a lot of great things. Now, you see, unless you're already rich, the chances that the current state of the Nigerian economy is actually fucking you up, right? Forgive my choice of words. But basically, if you're already rich, the way the Naira to dollar exchange rate is going up and down, it must be alarming you, right? Things are increasing. Simply put, if you're earning, let's just say you're earning 500K a month in a job last year, which I know it's like only like a very small percent of Nigerians are earning up to that amount from their job. And you are earning 500K a month last year, and this year you're still earning it. Your purchasing power has reduced. What you can do with 500K a month has actually reduced. Now, if you're earning just $1,000 last year, by this time last year, October, and you're still earning $1,000 this year, you're basically earning about 730,000 naira per month now. Like your money has at least increased in naira. So what you could afford last year, you would still be able to afford it and even afford a little bit more of it, right? So you want to understand that that's the cheat code to leveraging. Aside from you working with people of foreign businesses in first world countries, the second cheat code is basically you earning in dollars. It's a very, very important step of the equation. Now, okay, let's just skip that. Now, if you stay on to the end of this webinar, you will learn things like what freelancing is and how you can get started, where to find foreign clients and companies that will pay you in dollars, how to position yourself as a Nigerian freelancer to attract international clients, how to choose a profitable skill to sell as a freelancer, and a lot more, right? And you're going to learn how to do all of this using the 4 fail-proof steps that I'll be showing you shortly. Now, who is this webinar for? This webinar is for you if you want to go full-time and you recognize the tremendous opportunity that the internet brings to the table. This webinar is also for you if you want to make and earn in dollars online, but you don't want to talk to thousands of people, or you are more like an introvert like I am, and you don't want to tell somebody come and buy, basically. You just want something that you can actually do low-key and be getting paid good money for it, right? Because how do I put this now? Okay, let's just keep that. I think I will address that later on as we go in the webinar. It's also for you if you're working a job and you're actively looking for a side hustle that you can do part-time without quitting your current job. And it's also for you if you'd like to make money online without having to talk to massive amounts of people, okay? Now, what makes this webinar different? You get to learn directly from someone who has actually walked the talk. Oh, I knew someone's going to animate on my screen. Next time, I've already disabled it for you guys here. Please, let's allow this webinar smoothly, okay? All right, so what makes this webinar different? What makes this webinar different is that you get to learn directly from someone who has actually walked the talk, right? So on this thing, sorry, let me just get rid of all these stuff on my screen. I don't know who was writing on my screen previously. So you get to learn directly from someone who has walked the talk. So let's go. So like you can look at this screenshot here. This is from my profile, and I'm not just going to show you a screenshot. I think I'm going to go into my Upwork profile so you can see it actually, right? So this is me on Upwork. I made over $13,000 in total. It was actually $17,000 in the space of 5 months. So if we calculate that, that's close to like $4,000 per month. Simply writing for people in the United States, people in Australia, people in New Zealand, and the rest of that. I was getting paid top dollar for them. Now, there's a reason why these people wanted to hire someone in Nigeria, or why they saw the need to hire someone in Nigeria. And I'm going to show you how you can do this, okay? And just to show you that it's not just a screenshot, we can just go on, we can just type Upwork here, and we can go to my profile and we'll be able to see good stuff, right? So find work. So let's go to my profile, and once you click on that, okay. Did I click on it? Okay, so we're waiting for it to load. That's weird. It's refreshing this same page instead of going to my profile. All right, awesome. So it's going to my profile now. So right here, you can see it, right? So you can see it here, over $10,000 and with just 12 jobs and working only 694 hours. So basically over $17,000 at the career of Upwork, and with just 12 jobs at working only less than 700 hours and listing hours, right? Now, before we get, the reason I'm showing you that is that I want you to understand that there are different ways to make money online, but if you want to make money, and you want to make money really fast, legally, very important that you take that word into consideration, legally, then what you need is leverage. Now, the biggest leverage we have now in 2022 is the internet. So you must have heard of tons of ways you can make money online. There are tons of ways you can make money online. And the chances are that as you are here on this webinar, this is not the first maybe make money online opportunity you are hearing about, right? So what I'm simply saying is that you need that leverage. You need the leverage of, you need to know, you need the knowledge of how to find these clients. You need to know you have a high income skill to offer to these clients. And you need to know how to put this client, or how to get in contact with these clients and have them say, oh, they want to work with you, or how to attract them. And they're like, okay, they want to work with you. They want you to handle their website. They want you to handle their emails. They want you to design their flyer. They want you to post tweets for them. They want you to just maybe draw their marketing plan depending on what it is you want to do, even if you're into architecture. But like, I'm going to show you certain things that you can actually do to get to this step, okay? So before we get started, let me just introduce myself. So my name is Walter Einer. I'm a top-rated freelance copywriter. I'm a 7-figure freelancer. I'm a mentor to over 2,000 plus students that have collectively made over $1 million. This is a number, $1 million in the last 11 months, in the past 1 year with my teachings. I'm also a client acquisition expert. So just in case this part about making my 2,000 plus students making over $1 million concerns you, it's quite simple. Imagine if you become a freelancer today and your first job is at $1,000 per month, right? In the next, from now to the end of this year, right? So it's October, right? So you November, December, you've made 2,000. If you calculate, if you still keep that job for the entirety of 2023, you made $12,000 from that job. That is if they don't increase your salary, right? Because usually if you're getting a job at $1,000 per month, that's like a placeholder. And if you perform, they're definitely going to increase it. So you want to consider that, right? So when you multiply it across 2,000 students, it's not really anything special. It's not anything that's super big, right? Now, before I was any of these things, before I became a freelancer, before I became a client acquisition expert, before I started making millions monthly working for foreign clients, here is how it all began. This was me back in 2018. This was me living in the mud house. I was working with low-paying Nigerian clients. I was being underpaid. I was a struggling copywriter. So if you can see me here, you can see my clavicle. Sapa wanted to finish me, like I was suffering. I was going through it, right? And during this time, I discovered about freelancing, but like I was doing it the wrong way. What I was doing is I was working with Nigerian clients, and most Nigerians won't pay you actually. You might even do work for them and they won't pay you at the end of the day. I was still struggling. I was doing it the wrong way, basically. I was basically doing a whole lot of work for 10,000 Naira per month. And I was not being appreciated. And not like I care about being appreciated, but like I care about being paid. And I was not getting paid enough. So I had the burnout. I was like, I can't keep doing stuff like this, right? I need to find a more lucrative way. Like when I heard about freelancing, I heard you could make dollars online. You could live comfortably. But coming into the freelancing space, I'm not even really achieving anything. So what's going on, right? And I decided, okay, I'm going to target foreign clients. So I took some classes, got some courses and the rest of that, and I learned how to freelance properly. So this was me in my mod. This was front of the mod house. Here's the mod house again. I took this picture on the day I was moving out, right? Back in 2018. So this picture on the day I was moving out. You can see the carpet is half. You can see the walls. If you look at this place where my cursor is, you can see there's like a waterproof plugged into the wall there, because that's where water is to gush out from when rain is falling. You can see walls around it is soaked, right? And rats and cockroaches to enter to come and disturb my life, basically. So I want you to understand that. Now, until I learned how to freelance properly and land high-paying clients who will pay me in dollars, I struggled. But now I'm able to achieve get the lifestyle I want, work my own hours, and meet people of high importance. Plus, I've made over $100,000 via freelancing within the last 4 years of my career. So this is me with Honorable Akin Alabi, right, Abi? Yeah, so this is me with Honorable Akin Alabi. Some of you might know him. And this is me at Dubai. I live in Dubai currently, right? I live in Dubai currently, and this is me at Dubai. This is me at the Dubai Skyview Hotel. So you can see the buildings around, and front of the Burj Khalifa behind me on the background. This is also me in Dubai. I've been able to travel to 4 countries this year, actually. I've been to Rwanda, Ghana, Ethiopia, and the UAE. And I'm probably going to make it 6 before this year runs out, right? We have plans to go to other countries. But this is still me. And this is me with another internet millionaire. Some of you might know him. This is Mr. Ronald Nzumbara. He's a Nigerian internet marketer who has sold over 40 billion naira in products, okay? Now, the best part of all of these things is that this transformation has not just happened for me alone, but it has happened for my students too. So this is one of my students, like, hi, Walter, I hit $5,000 today. I was like, let's go, I'm proud, right? So this is from one of my students. This is another one, Israel Obasa, is like, with the tips you gave recently, I finally achieved this today. And if you look closely into this, you can see $800 for a single website, e-commerce website revamp job, right? And you know, my favorite thing about this, when you think about this, if you calculate, like, let's use today's exchange rates. Let's say if you calculate $800 times today's exchange rates, that's 584,000 naira basically times 730, right? That's 584,000 naira for a simple website revamp. If you ask most Nigerian companies to pay you 500K for a single job that might take you maybe a week or less, depending on how much you do it, or even if it's just 2 weeks, they're going to like, are they paying you that kind of money for something? Because like, even if they're not going to be like, they're going to be like, they can't afford it, because Nigeria is the poverty capital of the world. So if you want to make it out of the trenches, or you want to make the most money you can, you want to be doing something that gives you leverage. And the leverage we're talking about here is you working with first world countries. You don't, even at minimum wage, you don't see someone who is working for a first world country, maybe working full hours, anything below $1,000, $8,500 per month on their job, right? So when you consider that and you bring that amount of money into Nigeria, let's say you're earning minimum wage, but you're working for a first world country at $1,500 times 730, you're basically making 1,095,000 naira per month. So that's the ease, that's the barrier there, that's the trick you actually want to use. So the next thing you're seeing here is another testimonial from Annette TTF Young. It's like, this true was, I started your freelancing program, decided to take the course on social media marketing and apply the same things you taught. Boom, I got my first gig at $1,000 for working just 10 minutes every day. Some days I don't even work at all, and I still brought them results. I recently had 3 interviews and got another gig for a sport clothing brand worth $6,000 to work 6 months. Then I will get a retainer and equity in the company if I exceed expectations, right? So basically, he's a social media manager and he's working 10 minutes a day, at most an hour a day. Some days he doesn't work at all, right? And he's getting paid over basically $1,000 every month. That's $730K every month for doing something so simple that he can do with his smartphone, right? Or his laptop, whichever he decides to, right? Let's move forward. So this is my favorite testimonial out of all the testimonials I have, because why most of my testimonials talk about, oh, I made this, I made it 10,000, I made $20,000. This one just talks about, boss, good evening. This is a random appreciation message. You could have kept your knowledge to yourself and not shared it with us. Your selflessness is changing my life. And I owe you another testimonial video coming soon. This is the best I can do, right? Now, to make this even better, this isn't a one-off type of thing. Just because you got paid $2,000 doesn't mean you're not going to get paid more and above that. So you get in, you're a social media marketer, and you get your first gig at maybe $500, right? $300, $500, $1,000, depending, right? Just because you're getting that your first gig at $1,000 or at $500 doesn't mean you will get paid more. Even if it's $500 per month, you are going to keep the same knowledge and still use it to close more deals, and not just close more deals, but close higher paying deals as time goes forward, right? So I guess what I'm trying to say is that this works. It has worked for me and it has worked for my students. Now, the question is, would you want to go through all I went through, or would you want to choose the simpler, faster, and more straightforward method to achieving this type of results in the fastest time possible? I would like you to respond with a firm yes in the chat box if you are with me on this. So let me know, do you want to go through all I went through, start from a mud house, build from scratch, or would you like to go through the simpler, faster, and more efficient method for achieving this, where something you can start today and the next 1 month, 2 months, or even less, depending, you are seeing instant results? Which one would you want? Awesome. You don't want the mud house parts. Okay. So it means that it's good to enjoy trenches at the beginning, right? No problem. Awesome. So that's nice. Let's continue. Now, one more thing before we dive in. You may be wondering today whether you can or you can't do what I'm about to show you today. And this is a valid concern because what you really want to know is, will this time be different? Will you finally be able to get the solution you've been looking for all this while? Like I said at the beginning of this webinar, I do not expect this to be your first webinar, or this might be your first webinar, but I do not expect this to be the first time you're hearing of, oh, you can make money online like this, right? But what you really want to know is probably those other opportunities, they don't baffle you, or it's not something you resonate with. So what I want you to do is, you're asking the question, will you finally be able to get attention you're looking for? What I want to do is, I believe you can. And as we go through this presentation today, I'm going to show you how this unique approach I use has seemed to work from different people from different backgrounds, all with their own unique set of challenges. So look out for that, and it should help you see that you too, in fact, can do this. So now on that note, let's get started. What is freelancing and how does freelancing work? So I believe some of you here might know what freelancing is, and some of you might be entirely new to freelancing. But the simplest definition of freelancing is simply you working with multiple businesses or multiple clients. So to put it simply, my favorite example of this is, let's say I am a writer, right? If I am a writer and I'm only writing for, let's use a popular Nigerian company we know, Dangote Cement, then I'm getting paid only 200K a month as the only writer or the person who is handling the writing this thing in Dangote Cement. That's a 9 to 5 basically, right? But now if I take my writing skills and frame it and say, okay, I'm going to reach out to Dangote Cement, reach out to Golden Penny, reach out to Aquafina Table Water, and the rest of those popular companies in Nigeria, right? And then I get like 3 of them to hire me. And instead, I charge them 200K a month or 250K a month, or even 150K a month. I am making way more money. I'm making at least 600K every month compared to me working for only Dangote company. And the most mind-blowing thing here is that in fact, like 9 out of 10 case scenarios, while you are working with 3 of these companies, you get to do less work than when you are working with only one company in a 9 to 5, right? And I'm going to show you how we go about that in a bit, okay? So that basically is the definition of freelancing. So that's how freelancing works. Another example you'd like to look at is basically, let's say you have a plumber, right? So if something goes wrong in your house, your kitchen sink is not draining any longer, the tap is not working, you have a plumber you call, right? Now, if you call your plumber to maybe help you drain your sink, something's wrong with your sink, and he charges you about 5,000 naira for that, right? If he works for you and your neighbor is like, oh, come and drain my sink too, it has the same problem, and like 3 of your neighbors are like that. So that day, if he drains 4 sinks for all of you, he has made 4,000, he has made 20K that single day. So that's basically what a freelancer is. But now we are not going to be focusing on Nigerian clients. What we're going to do is that we're going to take it a step up. We're going to dial it up to working for foreign clients. And now that's where the massive leverage comes in, because a job that you can get paid at 100K for in Nigeria, you can get paid nothing short of 1 million plus for that same job when you're selling to the foreign audience. And that's like me even undercutting it. You can get paid up to 2 million naira for that same single job. One of the easiest jobs I've done was writing a voicemail script. This job took me basically 15, a bit less than 15 minutes to write. And I charged this client $500 for it, right? Sorry about that. So I charged this client $500 for it, and I got paid $500 for this single job, a job that took me about 15 minutes to write, right? So that's it. And I'm going to learn how to do that, because it's not every job that you offer to the foreign audience that's actually going to bank. That's another thing you actually want to know. So now that you now understand what freelancing is, let's get started on the 4 fail-proof steps that you actually need to go through it. So step number 1, get a high income skill. So what is a high income skill? I define a high income skill and take this very seriously as a skill that is high in demand and can also get you paid thousands of dollars. So simply put, if you have a skill that is high in demand but can't get you paid thousands of dollars, you don't have a high income skill. Because if it has lots of demand, that means you can be doing 10 jobs and you're getting paid only $200. And that's not money. That's not where the real money is, right? You do 10 jobs, you're getting paid $200. That's more like you're doing a lot of work and not really getting the returns or reaping the fruits of freelancing itself, right? Or if you have a job that can get you paid thousands of dollars, but it's not high in demand, it simply means you are a liability at some point because, simply put, if your clients maybe decides that they don't want to work with you again, something just happens, maybe they need to take a break, they're going on vacation to explore the world for like the next 6 months, because like shitload of millionaires actually do that for the next 6 months, they're just cruising the world. I have worked with a couple of them, right? So something like that can be an excuse, or maybe they lay you off, or maybe you made one little fuck up and you're like, we're not working with you again, like this cost us something, right? Then if it takes you 1 month, 2 months, 3 months to get your next job, that is also a liability, because if you don't have money stashed up, it's going to affect you. So keep in mind, you want those 2 criteria to be met. Get paid thousands of dollars, and not just get paid thousands of dollars, but also high in demand. Once you have these 2 things met, you are able to actually make way more money as a freelancer faster. So the importance of this step 1 is that the more demand, the more money you are able to make. The faster you'll be able to see progress and success, the harder it becomes for you to fail. Because when you meet these 2 criteria, when there is more demand for your work, that means a lot of people actually want writers, a lot of people actually want web designers, a lot of people actually want you doing XYZ for them, right? And when you're able to actually do that for them, or when there's that type of demand, then it simply means that you are going to get a job faster once you know what it is you're doing or what skill or service it is you're offering, right? So some examples of high income skills could be copywriting, UI, UX design, digital marketing, social media marketing. I showed you social media marketing at the beginning, right? Where the person is making $1,000 per month by working just 10 minutes a day. So you want to consider that that's what a high income skill gets you out there in the markets. So there are so many of them, but like I said, you want it to have the 2 criteria, and it must match the 2 criteria. High demand, a lot of companies and individuals are looking to hire someone to do it for them and get you paid thousands of dollars, okay? So that's it for step 1. Now, once you have step 1, next thing you want to do is step 2, which is simply position yourself on freelance platforms where you can be seen. So how do you position yourself on freelance platforms where you can be seen? There are 2 main ways to do this. So number 1, you can go on freelance platforms and something like Upwork, right? We can just go over here and go and click on, this is my Upwork profile, by the way. You can go over here, click on find jobs, right? And you can see this person is like build high conversions funnel for real estate and is willing to pay you $20 per hour for it to work 30 hours a week. So if I apply to this person's job now and I get this job at the exact proposed dates and time given, right? So the person says $20 per hour, so 20 times 30 hours a week. That means I'm getting paid $600 every single week for working for this person, right? So let's look at another one. I'm keeping in mind this is the weekend, so I know foreigners, they take their weekends very seriously, so there's not going to be a lot of crazy looking jobs here, but let's just see, right? So experienced SEO content writer, nope. But you can see that over each person has spent over $20,000 hiring people. So let's look for something else. So this one is excellent writer for websites, right? And the person's estimated budget is $1,000 for this job. So the person is willing to pay you about 730,000 naira for this job, for you to write website for the person, right? We have initial structured content for our website, but we'd like you to build the whole content and showing the tone of voice profile. So that's basically just rewriting their entire website's content. That's at max, it's not up to 5,000 words, and you're going to be getting paid $1,000 for it. Depending on, if you're a beginner, it might take you up to a week. If you're someone who is at my level, it might take you 2 days at most, especially if you want to breeze through it, right? So what I'm trying to show you here mainly is that this is how you position yourself on freelance platforms. And this depends on not just position yourself on freelance platform, but position yourself the right way on freelance platform, which includes having a good profile picture, having a good, well-structured proposals, because as we are seeing this job, other people are applying to it. So what's actually going to make you stand out from the rest of the people? And that's what I'm going to show you in step 3. So if you see over here, you can see proposals, 15 to 20 people have applied for this job because it's $1,000. So like it's like a good paying job. So like 15 to 20 people have actually applied for it. So how do you separate yourself from the rest, right? So this is one. So before we dive into that, this is just one segment of it, right? And the next way you can do is via social media platforms. So you can go on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. I'm pretty sure you can do that actually, and find people who would actually hire you and work with you, okay? So let's just dial back a bit. So the importance of this step is that you get paid strictly in dollars, you get high paying jobs faster, and you'll have less competition if done properly, if you're able to position yourself on freelance platforms and social media platforms the right way. And how do you do that? That's where step 3 comes in. So this is where the real money is, putting yourself out there, because if you have a skill, you're a writer, you're good at video editing, and nobody knows that you have this skill, or tons of people are not seeing you, or the only people who are seeing you are Nigerian entrepreneurs who else wants to pay you 20K for you to edit a video for them, or 30K, or maybe 100K for you to edit a video for them, then you're not really making the real money. But if you take that same skill and someone is saying, okay, so do this, edit my wedding video for me, it's $1,000, I'll pay you $2,000, I'll pay you $3,000, I'll pay you $4,000 for you to edit this particular video for me, or for you to edit this website for me, then you are going to see the real money there. But now the question is, how does one separate themselves from other freelancers offering the same services at them? Because take, for instance, me, I'm a copywriter, right? And I have students who are social media marketers, web designers, and the rest of that. And they're not the only ones in the whole wide world. There are other people who are actually out there doing what they are doing. So how does someone separate themselves from people who are offering the same service as them? And that's where step 3 comes into play, which is create compelling offers. So to create compelling offers, I will give you the simplest idea here. The way you create compelling offers can be quite simple. It can be as simple as you mentioning what you're going to do for the person, or creating something that others won't think of doing. And it's not something that should burden you, something that you can get done in like 10, 5 minutes, maybe an hour at most if you're looking to go extra, and you still get paid for it. So here's what I mean. So take, for instance, you are a graphic designer, okay? So if you're a graphic designer, then the average graphic designer is, hey, I'm a graphic designer, I work with this magazine, hire me, I can design your flyers, right? So sure, people will hire him and they're like, okay, do this design for me, 5,000 naira, 10,000 naira, and the rest of that. But now, if you take that same skill, you're still a graphic designer, but instead of presenting yourself or presenting your offer as just an average graphic designer, what you are doing now is that you say, okay, I'm a graphic designer. I work with Instagram brands or people who sell clothes on Instagram to design their homepage or to design their social media page so it looks colorful and gets more engagement. Or I design Instagram posts for these particular people who sell clothes on Instagram, people who sell stuff on Instagram, to get more engagement on their posts, increasing their organic reach and getting more people to engage with their posts, right? Simplest of terms. That's still what you're going to be doing if someone of that caliber hired you. But the difference now is their presentation or the perception of how they're seeing you. While one person is like, I'm just a graphic designer, you are like, this is what you do, and that's what you're a graphic designer, but like you work specifically for those people. When you tell people like that, why one person is getting paid $100, $200, you are setting your prices at $500, $1,000, $1,500. So do you see how that works? Do you see how that separates you from the vast amount of people who are out there? Same thing with if you are into writing. Instead of you just being an average writer, you can be a crypto copywriter or a crypto content writer, or you can be writing strictly for law firms or financial companies, right? And that way you can set your price and make the most money out of it. So the importance of this step is that it separates you from the competition. You get to set your own prices and you get to get paid more, right? So you separate it from the competition instead of you being in the same ball game as others who are saying, hire me, and it's taking you so much longer to get your first gig. You are in a league of your own. That's what it actually does for you, right? So you're able to set your own prices, you're able to separate yourself from the competition, and you are able to get paid more as a result of that. So step 4, which is simply get hired and get paid. So when you have step 1, which is get a high income skill, step 2 put yourself on platforms where first world country businesses and individuals can actually see you. So these kind of platforms are quite simple. Like I said, you can use either freelance platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, freelancer.com, and the rest of that. Or you can use social media platforms like LinkedIn, very important. LinkedIn is like a gold mine for high-paying clients who want to pay you $2,000, $3,000 and above. LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, right? On Instagram too, actually. If you are doing like the offer I gave you earlier, you can use Instagram for that, right? So you want to actually consider that. So that's it. So when you have step one, which is get a high income skill, remember a high income skill has to be a skill that meets these two criteria. Number one, can get you paid thousands of dollars. Number two, has high demand. A lot of people or companies are looking for people who can do that. And there are a lot of skills there. I'm going to show you some of them as we go forward in this webinar, right? So these are the steps you actually want to go through. Sorry about that. These are the steps you actually want to go to. Step one, get an income skill. Step two, put yourself on the list. And step three, create compelling offer. And then once you have these three steps in place, all you have to do is get hired and get paid. Now, don't get me wrong. You can skip some steps in between, but if your goal is that, okay, I'm coming into freelance and I want to make $1,000 per month, then you want to have these steps. You want to be among the top 20% of freelancers. You want to be like my students who are making thousands of dollars a month. Then you have to go through these three steps so you can get to step 4 and be smiling to your bank. Okay, so that's something you actually want to keep in mind as we go through this. So the importance of step 4 is you are able to afford a better lifestyle. You stop earning in Naira, which is very important because that's fucking your finances up basically. If you are still earning in Naira or more while because hey, what's going on in Naira is not funny. Like, all right, so like you know I stay in the UAE, right? I stay in Dubai to be particular. So one moment, if I want to send Naira, if I want to my family back in Nigeria, if I want to exchange Naira, you can be hearing 190, 196. The next week, you're hearing 204, 205, right? And that's the same thing with when I want to pay for stuff on our services online via dollars. The Naira is fluctuating. It's always going lower. It's not even going higher. It's always getting worse. So you want to stop earning in Naira and start earning in dollars or any other strong foreign currency as soon as possible. And nobody sees you as a failure or doubts you again. So you might be trying to get into freelancing, or you might be trying to do something and set up base for yourself. You might have just finished school and you are trying to set up base for yourself or set up something. And your parents or people around you are like, oh, why are you always pressing for? Go out, go find work, all those kind of stuff, right? When you start doing this and you start getting the results out of it, nobody's going to see you as a failure again. You are going to prove all of them wrong. Okay, let's move forward. So far, we've covered what freelancing is and how you can get started. We have to find foreign clients and companies that will pay you in dollars, how to position yourself as a Nigerian freelancer to attract international clients, and the 4 fail-proof steps that are needed to become a Nigerian freelancer, earning in dollars exclusively, and lots more, right? Now, if you are still listening and eager to become a high-paid freelancer, you are in for a treat because I have something really special for you today. And you would agree with me, it has been a time well spent so far. So we've already spent about 40 minutes on this call, and I can't cover everything you need in an hour's webinar. And even if I had all day to cover it, I need to break it down into step by step for you to actually understand digestible information that you can actually use and take action on, right? So here's a special offer that you can get everything you need to know. And if you act fast, I'm going to give you a very, very special deal. Very special deal. Now, when it comes to making money online, what if you can eat your cake and have it too? So I simply mean, what if you want to do something? And basically, that's simply what it means. So to put it in an example, what if you can make an investment that you literally have no possibility of losing? Like, that's very rare, but it depends on how you look at it. So let's proceed. I mean, the chances are that this isn't the first online money making opportunity you're hearing of. Freelancing is not the first way of making money online you're hearing of, right? You might have heard of the others. You might have heard of others, but you never jumped in because you have been asking yourself this question: how do I minimize the risks and pressure that comes with making money online and maximize its benefits? So I believe making money online is something that appeals to almost literally everyone. Even if you're 50-year-old, you're 50-year-old now, you're 60-year-old, you are 18, you are 20, you are 30. I believe it's something that appeals to you because, like, you're able to afford a very comfortable lifestyle, number one. Is forget about the pay. Number two, you don't have to enter Lagos traffic. You don't have to go out to the road. You can stay from anywhere and work. You can be in a hotel and work. And number three, you're getting paid the most out of it because it's something that is easily leverageable. It's something that is scalable. It's something you can easily grow, right? Like if I didn't start freelancing 4 years ago, I wouldn't be able to stay in this 1-bedroom apartment I'm living at now, right? So this apartment I stay in is in Dubai, and it's cost me basically $10,000. I'm sorry, 10,000 dirhams. It's 10,000 plus dirhams every month for rent. So if you convert that to Nigerian currency, that's around 2.8 million naira every month for rent. So when you think about that, that is money that people don't make in a year. So why, if you want to separate yourself from people who have never made that amount of money and people who don't dream of making that amount of money, then you want to do something different. And obviously, you know, you need to take risks, or the risks will take you, but you, at the same time, you want something that is controlled. You don't want to say you want to, like you're a newbie and you just carry your entire 200K and go and put in crypto and then crypto color your money, right? You don't want any of these kind of things. You want, my approach to risks is like, let's say I want to swim in uncharted waters, water I've never been to before. I don't just dive in. I first put my leg inside, feel it, feel if stone did, or feel how deep the pool is or the swimming pool is, and the rest of that before I actually go about actually swimming on the water. And I feel like that's what most people's approach to freelancing actually is. I mean, to investment opportunities or taking this online actually is, okay? Now, before I proceed, please note, don't let the old habits stop you from taking advantage of this, right? You know, those old habits, those, what if I cannot do this? I'm scared. That's fear speaking, right? You either sink or you swim. You either jump in at this point or you miss out forever. That's one of the old habits. The second habit might be, why is he doing this? If he's making the amount of money he says he's making and the rest of that, then why is he teaching us this? So there are two main reasons I'm hosting this webinar. Number one is I'm spreading information, right? So up onto this webinar, I know there are a lot of you here who didn't know about freelancing before. You didn't know that, okay, if somebody can pay you $10,000 per month, someone can pay you $5,000 per month. Currently, I live a very simple life and I work about at max. So I work too much that week. Like for my clients' work alone, not or maybe my other investments and the rest of that, from the money I go from freelancing, I'm working like 20 hours a week. And these two jobs I have, they're paying me about $4,000, and the other one is paying me $5,000 per month, right? And the best part about, I want to talk about foreign businesses, is that most times they try to pay you weekly or bi-weekly, which is every 2 weeks. Sometimes they pay you monthly, that's fine too. You still your money, it's still going to receive your money in bulk. So it still depends. Or if you're doing gig jobs, that's even way better because you're getting completed the job and you can do the next one as soon as possible, right? So the first reason I'm holding this webinar is simple. I'm spreading the awareness of freelancing to you. It's something that has worked for me. It's something that has worked for over 2,000 plus of my students, and we have all gotten results and made thousands of dollars from it. And that's why I'm sharing it. The second reason is that at the end of this webinar, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to have to make a payment. So whether you decide to take advantage of that or not, that decision is entirely up to you. So on that note, let's go. With that said, I'd like to personally invite you to the high-paid freelancer premium program. Now, to help you decide if this program is for you, and this program, I came about it last year around August. My initial thought was like, I've been making money for freelancing for a while, so let me just teach like 100 people. But as God will have it, it blew up. I have over 2,000 plus students now. It's actually 3,000 plus if I add the ones who are not even in the HPF, right? So if I think about it totally, I have taught over 4,000 people how to go about freelancing. And I would say I have at least a 70%, 80% win rate on people who take action with the program, right? Moving forward. So to help you decide if this is for you, here's what you're going to get when you join as a new member today. Section number 1, the beginner-friendly Upwork mastery course that is designed to take you from $0 to $6,000 in as little as 4 months. So if you want to make $6,000 that's basically $1,500 per month, right? And that's not anything difficult. If you have a high income skill that's both in demand and you know how to position yourself on Upwork and get clients, this is not something that is going to be difficult for you to actually achieve. So you're going to learn how to open an Upwork account. Most people charge for this, but I'm going to show you how to open an Upwork account for yourself. And it's going to get approved instantly. I'm going to show you how to design your Upwork profile, how to set your Upwork profile, how to send proposals. I'm going to give you literal templates, actionable guides that you can actually use like, you just have to copy, edit, and paste it to actually get jobs from these clients. And it gives you a format to actually apply to jobs on Upwork, right? I'm going to show you how you can do about that. I'm going to give you a brief section and show you how you can handle interviews when people are talking with you and they want to hire you. I'm going to show you the game plan you need to do to excel on Upwork and get high-paying clients, because Upwork is a place where you can get tons of money. And this is not just me saying it, right? So let's go over here and let's just type copywriting, right? So let's type copywriting. Let's just write, let's type copywriter. And instead of searching for jobs, let me move this out of my way. Instead of searching for jobs, you can search for talent, right? And let's see. So let's wait to see, and it loads up, right? So you can see this person is a copywriter. This person has made over $80,000 on Upwork with just 122 jobs. This other person, Alice, has made over $60,000. This person has made over $60,000, $100,000, and it goes on and on and on. So what I'm trying to show is that, yes, this works. It doesn't just work for one person and it's not work for the other person. It's not you leaving yourself or you relying on luck. It's a proven system for getting foreign clients to actually work with you and pay you well. Freelancers get paid the most because you are viewed as experts and you are not under the company directly, right? So you also want to consider that. Moving back. So that's what you will be learning in step number 1. And that, if basically, let me just, if you don't want to, if you are not a writer, maybe you want to be, let's say digital marketer, you want to be, let's type digital marketer, right? You want to do web design, any of these technical aspects. Maybe you want to do UI, UX design, right? So this is for jobs. We're not looking for jobs. We're looking for talent, which is basically people who are working on Upwork, right? So let's type UI/UX. Right? So let's look for talent and see how much people who are doing UI UX have earned on Upwork, right? So you can see these technical skills are actually even more paying than writing skills if you know what you're doing. So you can see right here, this person has earned over $600,000, right? Top rated plus, this person does not show his earnings, okay? That's the agency he works for. So most of them don't show their earnings, probably because they're making a shitload of money. Like this person who has made over $700,000. So maybe they feel like they want to just stay safe, over $100,000 plus earned. And you can basically see it out there. The information is out there. You can go on upwork.com and also do your research by yourself. So what I'm trying to show you here is that this works, right? So that's what you're going to be learning how to do on Upwork, how to put yourself in the limelight. So you're seeing someone has made over $700,000. So what makes you think if clients around the world have $700,000 spent on one person collectively, then why not you? Why can't you make $1,000? Why can't you make $2,000? Why can't you make $10,000? Why can't you make $100,000? It's a matter of time and knowing how to place yourself in the right place at the right time, send really good proposals, carry out the jobs, and the rest of that. So that's what I'm going to be showing you how to do, how to go from $0 to $6,000 in at minimum 4 months. Literally, it's really easy, to be honest. So section number 2, what you're going to get is the LinkedIn Client Outbound Acquisition Masterclass. So what this simply means is how anyone can find and close high-paying clients on LinkedIn without you relying on luck. I believe in luck, but I don't believe that if I just stay in this room now, $1 million will fall on my dining table where I'm hosting this webinar from, right? No, I don't believe in any of that. I believe that you create your own luck by the actions you take today. So if you take an action today, and let's say today is what? Today is October 9th, right? You take an action today, and in the next 2 days, in the next 3 days, sorry, by October ending, you have a job at $500 per hour. You've made $500 per hour, or sorry, per job or per gig or per month. Or maybe by the end of this year, you've collectively made over $3,000 from freelancing, or $4,000. You're closer to the $6,000 milestone, right? That is not luck. You're not. Your friends might see you and say, "Oh, you are lucky," but you know what you went through, and you knew that you had to actively and deliberately take a decision, an informed decision, to actually get to where you are right now. So you actually want to consider that. So that's the LinkedIn. So section number 2, you're going to learn how to use LinkedIn. And why I love LinkedIn is that you get access to top business owners there. So you get access to CEOs, founders, chief revenue officers, head of digital marketing, head of design, lead designer, chief marketing officer, and the rest of that. They are all on LinkedIn. Now, the problem is, how do I frame myself as someone who can actually do an outreach to these people? That is actually what you want to think about. So how do you put yourself as someone who can make an outreach to these people? I'm going to show you how you can do that. And as usual, I'm going to be giving you templates for doing cold outreach. I'm going to show you how to structure your profile, what you need to write on your profile title so that when they are seeing you, they're not like, oh, this person wants to come and start disturbing me. They won't accept your connection request. They're more like, oh, this is cute. This person is curious. This person looks cool. Accept a connection request and you guys can go ahead. So I'm going to show you how to do that in section number 2. Now, section number 3, the Facebook client acquisition system. You're going to learn how to find more clients than you ever need on Facebook without you spending a dime. So you're going to learn how to go on Facebook groups, not just any Facebook groups, but if you go to any of Facebook groups, you would labor in vain. You can have a group that has over 100,000 people in that group, but you cannot make $1,000 or you can't get someone to hire you for $1,000 out of that group. And you can have a group that just has 500 people or 50 people or 100 people or 10,000 people. And you can literally get 3 to 4 people who are willing to pay you $2,000, $3,000 from that group, right? I'm going to show you how to segregate these groups and how to find them on your own. And I'm also going to give you a checklist of some groups I have that I've found personally for myself. And I'm going to share it with you personally that you can actually use to find these clients. And besides that, I'm also going to show you how to structure your Facebook profile so you look like a decent human being. You cannot look like you're coming from trenches if you're from Nigeria. You don't want to look like that. That's a very bad image, right? How to do an outreach message and reach out to them positively and get this thing returns on that reaching out to them and get a response, and how to find these groups and the rest of that. Okay. So far, I'm going to learn the beginner-friendly Upwork Mastery course, which is worth over 100,000. The LinkedIn Client Acquisition Masterclass, worth over 150. The Facebook Client Acquisition Masterclass, worth over 100,000. So that brings the total net worth to about 350K. But you're not going to be paying any of that amount of money because I understand that most people cannot afford to pay such high amounts of money. So at the end of this, I'm going to show you what you're going to get. Now, moving forward, but that's not all. I wanted to make this really simple for beginners so that those of you who don't have a digital skill yet can get in. And not just any type of skill, but high income skills, right? So first high income skill number 1, the Kick-Ass copywriting course. So this course is simply what I do. I am a copywriter, right? So I am a copywriter, and what I simply do is I write sales words. So if you see an advert on the TV, someone wrote the scripts that those people use to talk about it, or maybe you're reading an advert for a phone and the rest of that. Most times it's either a technical writer or a copywriter who wrote that, right? So I'm going to show you how you can do this, how to write copy as a beginner that will get you more sales clients and money. This is a high income skill because if you can write emails, and a company that has a database of like 100,000 people, and maybe they on their own, when they write emails and it goes out, they're making $10,000 per sequence, right? And you take that script and you write it, and they are making about $50,000 per this sequence for that company. They're not going to have any problem paying you. For someone who generated over 50,000, they're not going to have any problem paying you $5,000. They're not going to have any problem paying you $2,000, $10,000, depending on how you negotiate. Because at the same time, the way you actively negotiate is also going to determine how you get paid. Like I said, like I always, I don't think I've said it, but this is something I always say: you don't have to be the best. Some people just get in and they're obsessed on being the best in their skill, which is fine. It's a very good trait to have, but you don't have to be the best to get paid the most out of this, okay? So you actually want to consider that. So that's this high income skill number 1 I'm going to learn, the Kick-Ass copywriting course, how to write copy as a beginner that will get you more sales, clients, and money than you can imagine. So here's one of my students, Keva. She is a copywriter. And she was like, I just want to thank you because your course opened the way for me. I have earned over 3,000 plus on Upwork till now, and I have a job success score of over 93%. And I'm just 19 to be 20. Walter, thank you so much. I'm like, yeah, my boss, thank you. And she was showing me, basically, the picture she was showing me is of an iPhone she bought. I think she spent about 230K on that and the rest of that. But the sum total is Keva currently, when I got this testimonial, this was around, that should be like February. That should be beginning of this year. So that was within January to March, right? Keva, as it stands now, has made over $10,000 from freelancing this year. And for depending on how much you're making, that's a lot of money. For someone like me, I might say it's not a lot of money, but $10,000 throughout this entire year, let's use the constant exchange rate of, let's say, 650, is like 6.5 million. So if you split that up by 10 months we've had so far, she's making about 700K a month. And that's something really phenomenal, right? So the second high income skill you're going to get is high income skill number 2, the content writing and content marketing crash course. Learn how to create and write simple content for businesses that go viral. right? So you're going to learn how to create content. You're going to learn how to create a content calendar, how to use this skill. And this is for you if you don't have a skill yet and you're looking to get into freelance. You're going to learn how to create content and the rest of that. Now, please take very important note of this. You do not have to learn all of these skills. I created these different skills and invited experts from different industries to create this for the HPF Academy because I understand that not everyone wants to be a writer. Some people want to create content, some people want to design websites, some people want to go into UI UX design, like the one I showed you where the person has made over $700,000 or $600,000, and you can see like the average there is like nothing less than $100,000 in the course of their career, right? Some people want to go into those kind of skill sets. And that's why I have people who have achieved those kind of results coming to teach you in the HPF framing program, okay? So you're going to learn how to create content, you're going to learn how to create content, write blog posts, write emails, write categories, and the rest of that for businesses. And this should not take you at least more than 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 1 month to learn, depending on how fast you're actually going to go through it, okay? So you want to consider that too. So here's one of my students, is Elo, is like, he's a testimonial, like, he just sent me the offer on Upwork. But it's still, he later sent me the offer on Upwork. We have been using Upwork for payments, but the charges, but it's still good though. I'm using it to build momentum from them. Imagine my first gig on Upwork being $1,000. By the end of this month, I should be on $2,000. That's enough momentum for me from there, right? So imagine your first gig you get in today, and your first gig is $1,000. That's blood money, man. Most people are not earning. Most people are not earning, and most people would never get to earn that amount of money in a month as a Nigerian. Like, before you get to that level where a company is paying you 700,000 naira a month, then you have to know what you are really doing. Like, you have to have worked for like 5 years is me being generous, right? Except maybe you're working in an oil company, but you have to have worked for a very long while before you can get access to that amount of money. But this can be your first job as a freelancer. So you see that leverage there. That's what you're actually looking for. That springboard that gets you to achieve such fast results in the fastest time possible and the shortest time possible. That's what you're looking for. So high income skill number 3 you're going to get access to when you join the HPF framing program today is the full stack digital marketing course. You're going to learn everything about digital marketing, how to use social media marketing, how to create, about understanding YouTube, how to be an overall a full stack digital marketer. And let's just Google how much a digital marketer makes here on Upwork, right? So we're going to just put digital marketing, okay? Digital marketing. I'm going to switch that from jobs to talent so we can see people who are doing this kind of jobs, right? So we'll see how much they've earned so far. Okay. All right, so you can see here $80,000, and some of them are not showing their distance, right? $7,000 plus end, 10K plus end, maybe that person is a beginner, $100,000 plus end, right? $200,000 plus end, right? So like, this is why it's very important for you. And this is why this step is very important, because you are not just learning any type of skill. You are learning a skill that is high in demand and also can get you paid thousands of dollars. When you meet those two criteria, it's like cheese for you. It gets easier for you because you don't have to struggle through a lot of things, right? So here's one of my students who is a digital marketer, Ransom Olukwetun, is like, completed this job yesterday, and truly, what you say about clients that pay on the high side is very true. I don't ever have to work for low-paying clients again. Moving forward, I don't see shege for their hand. Got on that $600 gig. I'm supposed to start this weekend. So I got on that $600 gig, and this first gig up here is for $800. So if you calculate that in two weeks, he has gotten the $800 gig and $600 gig. So when you calculate that together, that's like $1,400, I think, if I'm getting the math correctly. If you times that by like 730, you're heading close to like $1 million naira in 2 weeks. That's something you want to consider. So far, I've shown you 3 high income skills you're going to get in the HPF Premium program. High income skill number 4 that you can learn is social media marketing school. How anyone can use the power of social media marketing to get clients and build businesses. I'm going to show you. Remember my student who was a social media marketer, I showed you his testimonial at the beginning of this webinar, and you can see it right here. It's like, this is true but water, blah, blah, blah. I decided to take the course on social media marketing and apply the same things we taught. And boom, I got my first gig at $1,000 for just working 10 minutes every day. Some days I don't even work at all. I still brought them results. I recently have 3 interviews. I just got another gig with a sport clothing brand worth $6,000 to work for this thing, right? So these are, like I said, these are properly vetted by me. And these are skills that I know that, okay, if you get them, you getting a job as in any of these skills is not going to be, it's going to be easy peasy for you. Like it's going, sure, it might take you some time, but we're not looking at anything past 1 month if you're constantly sending out about 20 outreaches a day, right? And like I said, keep in mind, you don't have to do all of these things. You just have to pick one high income skill. Yeah, maybe you want to do digital marketing. Maybe you want to do social media marketing. Maybe you want to be a copywriter, right? So you pick one, only one, please. Pick one and learn. And then you can use the client acquisition aspect, which is the Upwork, LinkedIn, or Facebook clients, to find clients who are going to pay you thousands of dollars, like $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 for this particular job that you are doing. Okay. So high income skill number 5 you're going to learn is the UI/UX design course for beginners, right? So you're going to learn how to design. You're going to learn how to design user interface versus user experience. And this is like basically a really technical skill, and how to bring in an expert to actually create. I paid the person a lot to actually create this for us, right? And here's one of my students who is a UI/UX designer, Philip Odilaja, is like, how did this go? I was like, I don't drop the offer. I work with a Berlin firm now. So he was meant to move to Portugal for a job that they want to hire him. And that's one of my favorite things about freelancing. You can easily jump out with freelancing, because if you get a firm outside country to hire you, they can sponsor your visa for you to come and work in that country. It's as simple as that, right? I don't drop the offer. I work with a Berlin firm now. $40,000 per annum. So they pay monthly. That's around $3,000. I think I calculated and that was like $3,300 plus per month, right? If you convert what is making currently to the current exchange rates, sorry about that. If you convert that to the current exchange rate, that's 2.4 million naira every single month. That's what he's earning while living in Nigeria. Tell me how you won't be able to live a very comfortable life, whether you are married, whether you are single, whether you are 20 years old, whether you are 30 years old, whether you are 40 years old. Tell me how you won't be able to live a very, very comfortable life making that amount of money. And my favorite part of this is that you don't have to rely on luck. You don't have to be a graduate. I'm not a graduate, by the way. I think I told you guys at the beginning of the webinar, right? You don't have to be a graduate. You don't have to rely on luck. You don't have to spend years at a job. Like literally, in under 1 year, you can reach this level of earning this constantly, month by month, right? So you want to consider that. So the 6 high income skill, and keep in mind, I'm going to be breezing past the next 3 skills because these are being added as upgrades to the program. I've contracted people to create them for us. This will be done pretty soon. The UI UX is already done, so we're listening this week. And the virtual assistants and web development are still being made by their course creators, right? So technical writing is one of my favorite skills because it's the second highest paid writing skill after copywriting. There's copywriting, there's content writing, there's technical writing. Technical writing is second highest paying skills, writing skill after copywriting, and then you can start getting content writing. But most people don't know about technical writing, and that's why technical writers are so much in high demand, right? Like I like to say, I don't like to just talk. Let's look for proof, right? So what are you saying? Technical writers are getting paid, right? So let's see how much they're getting paid. Since you are saying that technical writers are getting paid, Walter, right? So we can go on Upwork and search for that, right? And let's see what it brings out. Right, so you can see expert technical writer. He stays here in Dubai, it's $60,000 plus end, right? You can see on that person, engineering technical writer and copywriter, $3,000 plus end, 10K plus end, 100K plus end, and this is dollars, by the way, not naira. 80K plus end. So that's what I'm telling you. These are like top skills that you know that when you get them, when you're getting a job, you're not getting a job at $50, $100. You're getting a job at $500, $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 for these particular jobs, right? Very, very important, okay? So high income skill number 4, which is web development. This is being added. They're going to learn how to design websites, how to become a web developer. And this particular person, I can't really talk much of this. I should have brought the curriculum, but I didn't add it to this slide. So basically, I'm going to learn a whole lot about that. And these are going to be added at most probably before the month's end. The course creators for the web development should be completed. But technical writing, the person I already talked with him today, so it's basically done and it should be added this week to the program, okay? So high income skill number 8 is become a rockstar virtual assistant. Now, this is simply you booking meetings for someone. It's basically like you being a secretary, but instead of you being a secretary and being in the office 24/7, you are just not a secretary. You can do it from the comfort of your phone. And my favorite thing about being a virtual assistant is that it doesn't have to be you being a secretary every time. It can be, okay, you have a simple task. Your task is to send emails to the specified list of emails they gave to you, right? And like for every person that responds, like maybe your base pay is like maybe $500 per month, but for every person that responds and they close a deal with that person, you get an extra $200, $300, $400 on it, right? That's the opportunities that come with virtual assistants, right? And you can just help someone schedule their emails, manage their calendar, respond to DMs, and the rest of that. There are different forms and variants of virtual assistants, and I'm going to show you how you can actually do it, especially for e-commerce brands, that they are the ones that need that the most, right? So I'm going to show you how you can go about it. Now, with this knowledge at your fingertips, you can now become a modern making freelance machine. Sorry about that, basically. But wait, there is more. So if you get the High-Paid Freelancer Premium program today, we add some extra bonuses for you. Free bonus resource number one, you're going to get full access to the members area, so you can ask questions, get in touch with me, and have companions on your journey. So I have assistants who are already handling these groups. They are going to respond to your questions. I myself, from time to time, at least twice a week, I come and go through messages and respond to them, right? You want to consider that. And basically, the favorite part is that you have a community of over 2,000 plus freelancers, people who are doing the same thing you are doing. So what that does is that you have a hive mindset. It's easier for you to do it because you are seeing people achieving results that you want to achieve. You're seeing people doing something who are like-minded to what it is you want to do. That's a very important thing. Community is a very important factor if you want to grow really fast. So you want to consider that, right? Free bonus resource number two, how to get your first client in 2 weeks or less. Now, this bonus is for those of you who will be joining, who already maybe have a skill. Maybe you're already a UI UX designer, maybe you're already a programmer, maybe you're already a copywriter, right? Now, this is the best because it's going to fast track your progress. I'm going to show you exactly what I will do, step by step, template, what to say, what groups to say it on, where to find these people you're going to say it to, and get hired in 2 weeks or less. Like what I'm basically saying here is a maximum. If you use this bonus number two, the maximum you should stay before you get hired is 2 weeks, literally. Okay. Free bonus resource number three, access to periodic meetings and masterminds to find your feet faster. So from time to time, I hold meetings with my students, either weekly or bi-weekly, and we get to record these meetings. So if you join today, you're going to get access to all the recordings, but not just all the recordings. I'm going to get access. I have one with them this week we're entering. You're going to get access to also join us for it, right? So you want to consider that and help you find your feet faster, right? Free bonus resource number four, closer secrets, how to close more deals by asking the right questions. So let's say you have a headache. Let me explain this. I love using examples. I love using real life examples. So you have a headache. You've had a headache for like 2 days now, and you go to the hospital. And the first doctor you meet, the doctor is like, we need to cut off, sorry, we need to operate on your head, right? You will be alarmed because the person, just the person you have a headache, the person like, we need to operate on your head, right? The person just touched you, looked at one or two and said, we need to operate on your head. You're going to be alarmed because the person didn't ask you anything. But the second doctor you meet, the person is like, okay, how long have you been having this headache? Okay, what part of the head are you feeling? Is it on the right side or the left side? Where is it more intense? Did you hit your head on the wall, or do you have a weird sleeping position, or did something happen to cause trauma to your head, right? Now, that second doctor, after asking you all these questions, said, okay, I recommend you go for surgery. And you know surgery is going to cost you a lot of money and rest of that. Which of these two doctors would you be more comfortable working with? Obviously, you would choose the second doctor. And that's because the doctor made you feel comfortable, asked you the right questions, and gave you a diagnosed information so far from it. So you want to consider that. That's what this shows you how to do. Because most people are like, someone says, okay, I'm looking for a UI UX designer, I'm looking for a technical writer, and they're like, I can do it for you. My name is, I've been working for 10,000 years and the rest of that. No, you're not going to get the job. You're basically saying what everyone else is saying. But when you learn how to use this closer secret to close models, asking the right questions, you get to put yourself in a different spotlight and be seen as an expert. And not only will they hire you above others who are also in that, but they're willing to pay you more. Because like if the first doctor said, let's just get hired, let's just do a surgery on you, says, okay, you're going to do this surgery for $10,000. And the second one that asks the question says he's going to do it for $20,000. Because of the way the other person approached to that problem, you're going to want to pay the second doctor because you feel like he has actually done the research and understands what you're going through compared to the first doctor. So that's basically it. Now, free bonus resource number 5 you get is the 0 to 2K challenge. And you're going to get this and get the second one that we're going to hold this month. Like for those of you who will join anytime from this October, I think I can give it to you guys for free. So basically, what you're going to be learning in the 0 to 2K challenge is quite simple. I'm going to give you templates, assignments, and the exact blueprint for you to make $2,000 per month, right? I'm going to show you, like it's a challenge I held for my students last year, November, to make $2,000 per month before the year runs out, right? So you want to consider that. So 0 to 2K challenge, you're going to learn everything about it. You're going to get the recorded videos, the templates, the classes we held, and the rest of that to get results in the fastest time possible. And not just about results, but getting paid in the fastest time possible, because I believe in speed. I believe that if you are doing something, if you can get your first job at maybe $1,000, $500, $200 in like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks or less, you are basically getting what I love to call your first taste of blood. So what this simply means is that you know that, okay, you're looking at me now, Walter is living a good life, right? I can take you outside. I don't even know, self, Abby, right? So you can look at I don't know if you guys, my video should be pink. You can look at my apartment, right? And this is just like, it's really big, and I can take you outside to see how Dubai looks. I feel like everybody should visit Dubai. And stick with me, I'm trying to explain something to you guys here, okay? So let me go to my balcony. All right, so I don't know if this camera will be good enough, so you can. Cool, right? The Burj Khalifa is not even that far from my apartment here, but I don't think the computer camera can take us to see it. Now, what I'm trying to explain to you about this first blood is that it's quite simple. So now, you know, this is working for Walter, who is talking to you on this system, and you've seen a student, it's working for him, right? So you know, obviously, this is working. But your first taste of blood, it doesn't even have to be $1,000. It can be like $100, $200. Like, oh, this has worked for me. And since this has worked for me, if I can make $200, I can make $1,000, I can make $10,000, I can make $20,000, I can make over $100,000 and even more in the course of my freelance career, right? That is what I'm aiming for by giving you all these bonuses that help you get to your results in the fastest time possible, okay? So with that said, free bonus resource number 6 you're going to be getting is 3 payment methods to receive your money at the right exchange rate. If you receive your money at the current CBN exchange rate, wow, because that will be like $450K, I think, or if not less, or $470K. Meanwhile, $1,000, instead of it being $450K, $1,000 at the black market exchange is about $730K and above currently. So you actually want to consider that. I'm going to show you 3 payment methods to receive your money in the best possible way. You can receive it directly to your bank account, or you can go through an exchanger. I'm going to show my exchanger, and he would send it to your bank account and you receive it in the best possible exchange rate, okay? Free bonus resource number 7 is free 1-year membership to the High Paid Freelancers Academy. So this is our platform, basically. You are going to get 1 year of free membership to it. And keep in mind, you're also getting lifetime access to the High Paid Freelancers Premium Program. And everything I've mentioned here, you are getting lifetime access to it. It's yours forever, okay? So you also get certifications for each course you take. So here's an example of the course you take. So if you take the quick class copywriting course, you are done. You take the questions and you can get this. This is probably certified at whatever your name is, you put it here, and that's it. You can see. And my favorite thing about this is that you get something tangible to hold on to and use to get results faster. Especially if you're a newbie, like, okay, have you done this before? You're like, here's a certificate. I've done this before, and the rest of that. But that's something else that you want to consider. As you can see, I've provided everything that you need to take your first step on the freelancer's path to making at least $1,000 per project. Without you needing much experience, without you needing a degree, without you needing to wait for years at a Nigerian job, without you being the most gifted in your industry, without you relying on luck. Very important. So you can see what you're getting here. And please note, all of these materials are in video, PDF, and recording formats. So how much does it cost to get into the High Paid Freelancer Premium Program? In a minute, I'll tell you, but first I want you to look at these. So this is one of my students, Milayi Onanubi, right? Like, luckily the client retained me. I'm coming to Dubai soon. So like, it's teasing me, right? Just pure banter. He was like, Walter, my life has changed. At home, my parents don't even look at me the same way anymore. Even amongst my guys, I'm so grateful. I blessed the day I messaged you from distance to $8,000 or more, right? So if you look over here, this is the laptop. This is a picture of the laptop he sent to me. And you can see this particular week, he worked 74 hours. Him and the client had an agreement and the rest of that, right? And at $15 per hour, he's earning $1,110 for that particular week. So if you're making like $4,000 a month, that's like stuff. So $1,110 times, let's do times 730, that is 810K per week that is earning. If you times that in a month, right? If you times that in a month, let's times that in a month, that's 3.2 million naira every single month. because he has access to certain information, because he has a high income skill, because he knows how to position himself in front of foreign clients who can pay him. And he's not just relying on luck. He's not just saying, oh, if I do this, maybe I'll be rich in the future. No, he has a clear laid out plan that can help him actually achieve that. Okay. So here's another testimonial. It's like, Remy Jerry, how old are you? I'm like 18. Good. You should be proud of yourself. Thank you. I can hire you for $750 per month. So if your first job is $750K per month, it's not bad at all. Like that's the fucking good money. Like if we do the exchange rate again, 750 times 730, right? That's 547K, right? That's really good money. He was like, Walter, thanks for this. And he got back to me, the person that's hired him, right? So this is Philip, the UI UX designer that dropped the offer from relocating to Portugal, right? Like I work in a Berlin firm now, that's $3,300 per month, right? Bro, I owe you a lot. Ever since I took your advice, I've been getting lots of interviews, and finally I got a project to design a website at $1,300. So if you want to design a single website for a company and you are telling them, okay, I'm going to design this website for $1,300 in Nigeria, they won't want to pay you because like it's like stuff that people are charging 200K for, 300K for, and you are saying $1,200. If you change that at current estimate, that's 949,000 naira, right? Though would not want to. Most companies or most individuals can't afford that. But you don't even need a company to hire you when you are doing this because an individual can simply afford that. Someone who is staying in a first world country. So you want to consider that, right? So be honest to yourself. How much do you think it's worth for someone to show you how to land high-paying clients like this? How much do you think is worth to get the information to fast track your progress to getting results like this? Let me know what you think it is, right? And even if you don't have no skill, and even if you don't have a skill, right? Now, remember, here's all you'll be getting: the beginner-friendly Upwork Mastery course, the LinkedIn Client Acquisition Masterclass, the Facebook Client Acquisition System, the Kick-Ass Copywriting course, the Content Writing and Content Marketing Crash course, the Full Stack Digital Marketing course, Social Media Marketing School, the UI UX Design course for beginners, the full bonus number 1, full access to the members area, the community we have. Bonus number 2, how to get your first client in 2 weeks or less. Bonus number 3, lifetime access to periodic meetings and masterminds. Bonus number 4, closer secrets, how to close more deals by asking the right questions. Bonus number 5, the 0-2K challenge. Bonus number 6, three payment methods to receive your money in the best possible exchange rates. Plus access to our 3 new high income skills being added, right? And you're also getting a certification for each course you decide to go through, right? On average, it won't cost you less than $200 to learn one of these skills here on its own. So if you go around, if you Google how much does it cost to learn digital marketing or how much does it cost to learn copyright or anything, you see people are charging a shitload of money to teach you how to do that, right? Now, if you want to learn 3 of these skills, and keep in mind, even though I say you can learn only 1, you can try to learn 2 or 3. It's entirely your choice on what you actually want to do with it, right? Because you have lifetime access to all of them and the future ones that will be added. Imagine if you want to learn 3, you have to pay $600. We're not going to be paying anywhere close to that amount today. You won't be paying $200 for everything. Instead, you'll be paying less. So if you get into the high paid freelancer premium program today, you only pay a one-time fee of 50,000 naira. So, and you still get everything mentioned here. Simply reach out to the person that shared this link for you to join this webinar to get your link to pay. And now here is something, a very, very special offer. For the first 10 people to make payments, I am going to be giving you a very special bonus. And this special bonus is my personal templates. Like I have tons of templates, but I have a special template I use for myself and myself alone to reach out to foreign clients on LinkedIn and Upwork or Facebook. And the way I structure my offer, actually, if you want to do copywriting or if you want to do any other skill, and get them to hire me. And this bonus is only reserved for the first 10 people. I can't give it to everyone on this webinar. It's for a very few amount of people. So what you want to do, whoever brought you to this webinar, go and the person that shared the link for you to join this webinar, go and reach the person and like, hey, I want to get into the HPI Framing program, and you can get access to this for the first 10 people. I can easily track it from my dashboard here. I'm going to see who the first person is, okay? Now, one more thing. You have some more testimonials I got from my students this morning. So yes, Peter, this guy, he does, what does he even do? Let me see. Like, Walter, how are you? Remember this, they're not hiring me $2,000 per month, a design role, right? He's a UI UX designer, by the way. Like you can see the application, the letter here. We have good news about your application. Treats of Charlie actually join the team at web designer for, okay, he's a web designer, sorry, for Black Tech Inc. and Heroes and Sidekicks. That's the name of the company, basically. and they gave him this, and he's being paid $2,000 per month. And that's like good money, because that's 1.4 at today's exchange rates. No matter how you look at it, that's really good money, right? So you can see Cassie here. You can see some of his jobs here from Upwork. You can like $1,500, $1,200, $230 per gig, right? That's awesome. Now, here's one of my students again, one of my favorites, the social media marketer. He was like, I just got a gig at $2,600, and the client wants to make payments now. And he was looking for the best exchange rate to receive this money. Because one thing about exchange rates is that if you receive this at official Naira exchange rates, then let's do $2,600 times 450. You're receiving 1.1 million. If you receive this at current exchange rates, you're receiving this at 1.9 million, right? So you can just lose over 800,000 Naira like that if you don't use a really good exchange rate to receive your money. So please keep that in mind. So here's another one. Frances is a mother. She's married. She's a mother. Hey, Walter, you just wanted to know, I got the top rated badge last month. Awesome, right? Super. You get to that when you've earned about, I think when you've earned about $5,000 plus on Upwork, right? And I was like, congratulations, how much earned now? She was like, on Upwork, over $8,000, but some of my counterparts moved me offline, and I've earned more than $3,000 upwards there, right? So you see that this is something that if you bring your whole total of how much you've earned in the whole year to $11,000, that is still big money when you are living in the poverty capital of the world in Nigeria, right? So $11,000 times, that's like 8 million, or let's just put it at 7 million made this year, right? If you split that into months, if you divide this into the 10 months we've had, you're still making about 800K every single month working for foreign clients from your home, from your smartphone, from your laptop. You don't have to exactly be at any particular, you don't have to be there working with them. You just have to have internet connection on your phone or your laptop, whichever one you decide to use, right? Well, like I got 4 job offers last month and 6 offers on LinkedIn. Thank you, coach. Right? So let's talk about frequently asked questions. And once we're done with this, you guys can start typing your questions and I'll answer them out here, okay? So can I do this with my phone? I was like, yes, you can. So yes, you can. You can do this with your phone. It all depends on what skill you're doing. If it's writing, you don't need a laptop, right? So if you want to do UI UX design, obviously you need a laptop to actually do something like that, right? If you want to do web design, you want to do web development, you need a laptop for that. But if you want to be a technical writer, copywriter, social media marketer, content writer, probably some parts of digital marketing too, you don't need a laptop. You can use your phone. Doesn't matter if you're using an iPhone or an Android. When is the program starting, or has it already started? It is an online program that will always be available to you so long as this page is up. Anytime you join, you get access to all the materials and bonuses, right? As I've mentioned. What if I have a day job, I'm a business student? Can I do this on the side? Yes, but here is the catch. You want to be able to set a certain amount of time to make the most progress. So if you can work today, but you cannot work tomorrow, or you can study today, cannot study tomorrow, at least make sure that next tomorrow you start at least 2 hours or 1 hour. You are going to be the one to determine how you're going to segment your time to get the most results out of each year. But like that's basically it, okay? What if I don't have a digital skill? That's not a problem. Currently, there are 5 high income skills that you can learn in the PHPF program. We're working on adding more. So that's actually 8 now, okay? Am I going to pay for anything else? No, you are absolutely not going to make any payment for anything else. And upon payment, you won't be asked to pay for anything else. Neither will you do, because freelancing requires no startup cost. Whether it's Upwork you want to use, maybe sometimes Upwork might ask you buy listen, or if you want to use LinkedIn, you don't need to pay anything to use LinkedIn to reach out to clients, or Facebook, you're not paying anything to reach Facebook to reach out to clients and get hired for it. And you already have access to all the information you need, both in getting clients, both in learning your particular skill sets you want. So how long until I get my first client and start making money? I could easily tell you that you could make that in 2 weeks or less. And I've shown you several proof along the line here. But here's the thing, not everyone will get their first clients that fast. For some people, it might take up to a month, but that does not matter, because what matters is the long term. If it takes you 1 month to get your first client at $1,000 or $2,000, isn't that way better than you getting your first client in 1 week at $300 and you're just getting maybe at $300, because that's way bigger than it takes, right? So if you focus on implementing ruthlessly and patiently, that's my guarantee to you. You will be getting clients paying you upwards of $1,000 per project and lots more, and as long as demand for your work grows, right? So how long will you have access to this program and everything else promised once I sign up today? You have a lifetime access to everything, so you can relax and go through it at your own pace. How does that sound to you? Lifetime access to everything here. How long will it take for me to go through the program and start implementing? This depends on your hunger for success and how fast you can assimilate and learn. It takes some of my students 15 days, some of them it takes them a month, but it depends on how much hours you are being dedicated. You cannot say someone who is working 1 hour a day is going to achieve the same result as someone who is at least dedicating 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day to learning it. It also depends on if you have a skill or not, or if you want to learn one of the high income skills first. Obviously, someone who is a copywriter is not going to, who already has a high income skill, but it's more focused on learning how to land high paying clients, is going to be able to go through it faster than someone who is coming in totally as a newbie. You don't have a high income skill. And maybe you want to start with copywriting, or you want to start with content writing, or you want to start with UI UX design or technical writing or digital marketing, right? So you want to consider that. Do I need to go through every section of the program before I get my first client to start making money? No, you don't. So you simply choose one client section aspect and one high income skill, and you can get, and you once you combine those two, you start taking action, and you can start getting upwards of $1,000, $500, sorry about that, per gig upwards, right? Will the price of this program increase anytime soon? And the answer to that is certainly the price of the HPF is going to increase pretty soon to 75,000 naira. So for those of you getting in now, you're getting in at a really, really good price. So hopefully I've been able to answer all your questions with this. Simply reach out to the person that brought you here, who shared the link for you to join this webinar, and on how you can actually get it, okay? And I'll be here waiting. So on that note, let me answer some of your personal questions. I feel I can see like over this thing. So I'm saying stuff, but the money is big. If you cannot afford it, then that's fine. This is not for you, right? Because if you feel like paying 50,000 naira, it's too much for something that's like, no matter how bad it is, your first gig is going to be nothing less than $100. $100 is about 73,000 there, and you're going to make more gigs ahead of it. Then simply leave the webinar now. Okay, that's fine. So I'm looking at questions here, please. So I'm looking at questions. If you have any questions, please type it. You say you do video animations. Who was that? Right. So like, if you do video animations, that's not bad. Like, if we search for it here now, you're still going to see. Like I said, if you have a high income skill, that's where the main cocoa is, right? Video animator, right? Now let's see what people who are doing video, who are video animators are earning on Upwork, right? So you can see here 2D animations, $90,000 plus end, right? $7,000 plus end, $7,000 plus end, $100,000 plus end, right? And $800,000 plus end for being a video whiteboard animator, right? So you want to consider that. So continue. I don't have a course for video editing yet, so I don't think that's going to be added anytime soon until I find someone who has actually done it, not just done it, but made money from it, right? Before I can add the person on board. If I buy the course and go through it now, how long will it be until someone starts applying for a job? It shouldn't take you up to a month to start applying for a job, especially even if you are just starting and you don't have a skill set. Because here's the thing, there's something called imposter syndrome, and I tackle that inside my course. If you start learning something, sometimes you want to be a perfectionist, you want to be like you can do it, but you can do everything before you start reaching out. But here's the thing, until you start reaching out and getting paid for your job, that's where the confidence comes from. So once you've learned everything, you've learned the basics, then you can start. You can start from maybe beginner's job and move to intermediate or expert jobs and start getting paid for it. But like, that's the fastest way. Well, I don't remember what you're talking about. Whoever said it was 20,000 naira. The price for the HPF premium is 50,000. Okay. So guys, I'm looking at questions. In the next 5 minutes, this webinar will be ended. Which is the best platform, can I say, is for freelancing? Well, it depends. I won't say it's freelance platforms or Upwork or the rest of that. Like, these are like very good, right? Like, those are top tier platforms where you can get thousands of dollars. But if when you are going long term, maybe you've been like 2 years in the game, 3 years in the game, you can still use these platforms. But if you want to make the most money, you're going to be maybe using LinkedIn, cold emails, and US for reaching out to clients and getting paid the most money out of it. Okay. So many messages or more. So how do we stand a chance against foreign competitors considering our current grounds as Nigerians? So I kind of expected this question because a lot of people are like, I'm a Nigerian. That does not matter. Even as I've been here for quite some time now, I have not changed my location to Dubai, literally. Like, it's still just me here. If you go over here, you will see my time zone, right? It's still just me. Have I changed it to Rwanda? Where is it, right? Where is that again? Oh, I cannot find it. Why? Basically, it still shows that you can see it's right, Calabar, Nigeria. That's why I stayed when I was in Nigeria, right? I've been here for some time now and I've not changed this to this thing. So why I'm showing you this is quite simple. The market does not care where you are from. As long as you have shown that, okay, you can do this job and you can do a good job, that's all that matters for you to get hired, okay? And it's the reason why some people complain about, oh, I'm from Nigeria, they don't want to hire me and the rest of that, is because they're not writing really good proposals and they don't have a template for writing proposals. Even if your proposal is good down the line, you want something that at the top, they are saying that your proposal is good. Instead of you saying, let's say I'm looking for an animator now and somebody submits it and say, I've been an animator for 2 years. That's not my business. What your opener is, because when you submit a proposal, client first sees the first 2-3 lines of this thing. What your opener is actually shows you what it's actually going to help them open your proposal and actually hire you. So most times when I get students who say that, I go through it and I say that the problem is mostly has to do with the number of proposals they're submitting or how bad their proposals are, right? Or how much outreach they're doing. All right, so can you earn as a graphic designer with WordPress skills? Yes, you can. What is the 50K for? It's for everything at once, literally. Okay, so everything at once. Okay, so I'm looking for questions. You guys have any questions on this webinar today? Okay. Now that I'm really interested, but I do website designs, can only follow the video step by step. Would that be okay in design? Come again, I don't understand this question. It's kind of confusing. You say you're interested, but you only do web design and your own, I don't understand. Okay. Okay, when is the web development going to be added? It depends on when the course creator is complete, has finished doing it. That's when it's going to be added. But like I've already started putting pressure on him, so it should be done pretty fast. Okay. Can you multitask on one account? Yes, you can. So if you come over here now, thank God on my profile, if you see on my profile here, you can see view my profile, right? You can see this plus sign here. Now on this plus sign, I can create a specialized profile. If I want to do web design, if I want to do video editing or any of those kind of things, I can select it right here and start filling it, and that'll be my second profile. So when I want to submit a proposal, I can submit both for writing, I can submit both for video editing and web design and the rest of that, okay? So you want to consider that. What is the difference between technical writing and content writing? So content writing is basically just writing blogs and the rest of that. Now, a technical writer is someone who breaks down complicated things into the simplest bits, right? Or explains it using their lingua franca, or sorry, using basically their work language and the rest of that. So you can see, that's why you can have an engineering technical writer, a cryptocurrency technical writer, a blockchain technical writer. And meanwhile, a content writer is just creating blogs, stuff that maybe helps inform people, or different types of blog posts or emails or social media posts. So that's the difference between them. Okay. Can a poet become a freelancer? For sure, you can be a poet, can become a freelancer. But now, what I would say is that mostly does not fulfill that criteria I told you guys about having tons of demand, not just tons of demand, but getting paid thousands of dollars for it. It's very, very important that it meets those two criteria. Okay. Poet, writer, wordsmith, right? It's better to end over $30,000, $7,000, $300,000, but that's not right. But this person is not totally a poet, right? Script creator, copywriter, thoughtful post, $7,000. So yeah, you can do it, but like if you want to get the fastest results and make the most money out of it, you want to make sure you are actually hitting those two criteria. Okay. What's music tips needed as a freelancer? What? I don't understand what that question is. So guys, we have 1 more minute to ask question. And I think I'll be ending this meeting now. So I've seen some people who have gotten in. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's in my email here. Like I've gotten about 5 people now. I don't know if you guys can see it, right? You can see it right here. I've gotten like 5 people now. And these are the ones I'm going to contact them via their email and send them access to my special system. The first 10 people who get in, you are going to get access to it, okay? What if there is no money now? I don't know what you want me to say. That depends entirely on you, to be honest, right? That depends entirely on you. You can always make the purchase later, but you're not going. But number one, if you're not among the first 10 people, don't expect the special bonus, but you're going to get access to everything else. Number two, the price of the HPF is increasing really, really soon. That's my guarantee to you, right? And if you get in when the price is some 5,000 naira, that's what I'm going to say, okay? Okay. I am not including this offer for the freelance or smartphone course for no reason, please. Who are you making payment to? You don't know who brought you to this webinar? Please find who shared the link that you used to join this webinar. Reach out to the person. The person should send you a link and you can make the purchase. All right, guys. So after some questions, I'll be ending this meeting now. So I hope to see you inside. The main purpose of this is to create the enlightenment, and I'm sure I have done a very good job at that. At least, if any point, any amount of money it is you're looking for to make in this life, it's out there. And it's not just out there, it's easily within your reach. So long as you have a phone or a laptop that you used to join this meeting, it's easily within your reach. What has been stopping you so far has been information and technical know-how on how to go about it, right? And that's something my phone is buzzing again. That's something you want to do and know how to go about, right? So with that being said, I will see you, those of you who will get in, I will see you inside, I'll see you in our meetings and the rest of that, okay? So have a very beautiful Sunday and see you guys. All right, so end meeting. Oh, meeting. Let me just check the questions one more time if there's any important question there. Okay.